Hi guys, I hope this is shorter to very much shorter than, oh, I'm blind again, than my last video that seemed to go on for days, mostly because it took me an entire day in small pieces to make that work. Okay, so we are checking out composite functions. So what I'd like you to try to find, this is a function, Lord knows what the equation is, I don't know, but from the graph we can find a few things. It's a function f of x. So in a second, I want you to try to find these pieces. Pause me, see if you can figure it out, and then we'll walk through it. Okay, f of 3 is like into the function I put 3. So if this was, it's not this equation, right? But if it were f of plus 5, f of 3, you'd put in 3 into here, so this would be 3 plus 5, and you'd get 8 out. And if you plotted this, it would say f of 3 is 8. You'd say, oh, 3, 8 is a point, right? 3, 8. I put in 3, I got out 8. So if we look at that, the function here in the same way, this is find f of 3. It means into the function I put 3. What did I get out? Oh, 0. So this is 3 comma 0, meaning f of 3 is 0, right? 0. Take that and run with it. So I want to find f of 3. That's really f of 3 we know is the value 0. So this is really find f of 3, which is f of 0. And f of 0 is you go over to 0, go up. Ah, that's this point, right? So this is 0, 2, sorry. There you go, right? So this is 2. So into the function I put f of 3. F of 3 is really 0, so f of 0 is 2. Play that same thing again. What's f of 3? This is let's see. This is 0. F of 0 is 2. So this is really finding f of 2. What's f of 2? F of 2 is 1, 2, is 1, right? So f of 2 is 1. Now it starts getting fun. So you get f of 3, and f of 3 was 0. F of 3 was 0. Okay. Negative 3 times f of 0. Well, okay, so let's clean these up just a little bit. F of, so I'm evaluating this part. F of 0. F of 0 is 2. Oh, geez, what is this line doing? Let's get rid of that. F of 0 is 2. So this is 2, so times negative 3. So f of 0 is 2. And now we have f of negative 3 times 2. Right? This is being multiplied by this. So this is negative 6. So now we're asking about f of negative 6. So f of negative 6 is negative 4. So this whole thing is negative 4. Okay. Oh, I needed that line. I needed that line. I needed that line. Here's g of x. It's a line. We're looking for f of g of negative 5. So this is like saying first evaluate g of negative 5. So here's g of negative 5. It's a different function. So I go over to negative 5, see where it is on g. So this is negative 5 comma 6. So now I'm going to put 6 into here. So this is really saying f. What's f of 6? And f of 6 is here on a different function, because now we're talking about the f function. So that's 6, 0, right? F of 6 is 0 because it's 0 up. Woo! Right? That's composite functions. It's like putting functions inside of functions, which is great. All right, let's give it a shot. Now, all right, so a composite function is putting two functions together so one follows the other. So that you could call, if you said f of x was x to the 4th and g of x was 2x plus 3, you can find f of g of 2. So you could think about it as f of g of 2 is, you'd put 2 in here. So you'd say 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So this is really asking about f of 7, and f of 7 is 7 to the 4th, whatever that is, right? Calculate it if you want. You can run it backwards too. You can say f of 2, which means figure out f of 2. I want that back. F of 2 first. So put 2 into the in there first, put 2 into the f, which is 2 to the 4th, so 2, 4, 8, 16. So, and that's so this is really finding g of 16. And so you put 16 into g, and so this is really 2 times 16, 32, plus 3, 35. Neat. Basically, you're putting an input into one machine. It does a certain thing. The output comes out, and then you take that output and put it into the next machine and see what happens. Yeah. You can do this not necessarily by just by doing the numbers. You can put this into make the equations fit together too. So f of g of 2, well, you could find like f of g of x. Right? Is that on the next page? Yeah. Okay. Same equations. F of g of x. Sometimes they write it like this: f of g of x, fog of x. When I see that, I rewrite it. It means do g first and then put that result into f. So if we put, I'm going to write it instead. F of this part, let's see, f of x, this green part, is really like saying, take whatever your inputs are and bring them to the 4th power. And g of x is this internal part, and that's the input into f of x, right? So we're going to say that's 2x plus 3. So we're going to put that in here, 2x plus 3. And that's the equation for f of g of x, right? And you can put in values now, like if we did here, we did 2. If we put 2 into this, if you put a 2 in there, you get out what you'd expect, what we expected before. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3, so 7, and 7 to the 4th. Yeah? We got that same idea with this one. F of g of f of x is really g of f of x, which means I'm going to take g, which is 2x plus 3. Instead of calling it x, I'm going to call it 2 times input plus 3. And our input is f of x. So we're going to put f of x in there, x to the 4th. Yeah? And we're going to simplify. So this is 2x to the 4th plus 3. We could totally try g of f of 2 now. Just means put a 2 into there. So this would be 2 to the 4th, 2, 4, 8, 16, times 2, 32, plus 3, 35, just like we thought. Yeah? So if you evaluate this, it's really big. It's 7 squared is 49. It's 49 times 49, whatever that is. But it's a lot bigger than 35. So what I want you to see is that these are not equal generally. Once in a while they are, but generally f of g of x and g of f of x are not equal. Cool. So pause me, you try this, and see if you can find f of g of 5, f of g of x, g of x. Give it a shot. All right, so this is f, this is g. What's over here besides Mr. T? All right. Here's f of 5. You plugged in g of 5, which is 99. If you plug 5 into g here, it's negative 99. It's 1 minus 100, so negative 99. And you plug that into the x's here, and you get 29512. Cool, fine. F of g of x we want to do without any variables. Yeah? So we're going to plug in f of g of x, g of x into f of x. So I'm putting 1 minus 20. I'm putting all of this into the x's here and here. So that goes in, this red piece goes in place of this x and also that x. And you see it there, and you clean it up. It gets ugly, but you can do it. And then g of x is ignore f completely and just put g of x, this, into the x value for itself. So this is g of x. You notice that in place of the x, it is going in, the whole equation is going in place of that x, right? And then you can simplify. Cool? That's composite functions. Try it out. We'll see you later.